What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer, and today I thought I'd look at a new deck, and I know that I just did the red eye stuff, and I will be doing gameplay videos. I will be doing a deck profile, but there's so many route trees for it. I'm still trying to learn them. I'm not super familiar with Dragon Link, so that's the reason for that. Not that I'm completely ignoring it, but the ban list did just come out, and Virtual World is kind of on everybody's mind because it still has this ability to summon 1,000 times in a turn. But what can it actually do? Like, how are people playing the deck? And before the ban list even dropped, I heard a lot of people talking about, hand loop 5, hand loop. And I'm like, wow, really? Can it really do that? And I wanted to show you guys a combo. I have no idea where this comes from. I think everybody seems to be using the same one. So I'm just going to show it to you, and I'm going to explain it like a really slow pace. And I'll actually try to reintroduce Virtual World the best I can to you guys, and then we'll go from there. I don't know if I'm going to do in gameplays, but at the very least, I think this is something you should be aware of, because a lot of people still have Virtual World cards. Virtual World cards are still very affordable, so you can see what people may be doing with it after VFD has been banned. So let's go ahead and get into it. I'll take it step by step. And this combo requires you to have at least this guy right here, Beast of the Pharaoh. Didn't know about this card, but it's been around for a while, I guess. But every time it's used for a synchro summon, which this deck does quite a bit, it revives itself back every single time, not even a once per turn. So that's going to be the core of this. So what I think you'll end up seeing is you'll have guys who play Virtual World who have these inherent combos that you just have from based on your opening hand. But if they do draw this, this is the combo that they'll use. So I'm guessing people will probably be playing this at 3, and it'll just kind of be a play starter in that sense. That when you see, like, okay, cool, you're not going to have a hand. But anyways, almost all of your Virtual World combos that you'll see online, I think we'll start with Virtual World Qualoon. I don't know how to say these words. This is going to be embarrassing. All this does is it lets you activate a face-up spell or trap from the deck, which is great because a lot of your Virtual World cards target that card, send an opposite type of the other two. So I'll try to explain this again. And like, if you have a trap card, all the Virtual World cards can target that, send something else that's not a trap, and then they have a third effect, which makes them unique. That third effect is what differentiates themselves. And also they have different levels, but you can start off from there. And Lulu is probably going to be your best play starter always. So let's say you have a Lulu in your hand, and you can target the trap card, send a different type. So that's going to be Qinglong. Qinglong is a searcher, banishes from the graveyard to search. And Lulu's special effect, her special third effect, is that you let you add a Virtual card of the third type. So targeted trap, send a spell. So now you have to add a monster card, right? So you can go ahead and special summon that, and you're going to add a Lao Lao to your hand. Next, you can go ahead and normal summon, since this deck almost doesn't normal summon at all. And this is where your combos are going to start getting wackadoodle. So you can go ahead and synchro those off into a Coral Dragon. And like I said, since it was used as a synchro summon, it targets itself to bring it back. So you just have this non-tuner rank 3 all the time. You can go ahead and synchro those off since into an XX Saber Gotems. I don't know what this is called, but since it was used as a synchro summon again, it's going to go ahead and bring itself back. And when Coral Dragon's into the graveyard, it lets you draw a card. Cool. Whatever then. Don't worry about this. It doesn't matter what you draw. But this card, if you don't know, it can tribute an X-Saber card, including itself, to discard a random card from your opponent's hand. So you can imagine it's not a once per turn, and you're going to be using it quite a bit. And there's also other ways to get cards out of your opponent's hand, because it just so happens to be a rank 9. So that's what you're going to do. So there's one card out of your opponent's hand. Now you can use the effect of Lili in the hand, targeting the trap, so you can spend a different card. You can send another Qinglong to set your plays up for next turn, and his third effect is lets you send the third type. So since you spent a spell, you can now send a monster since you targeted the trap in the beginning. And you're going to send a Nian Nian, or Nian Nian. This card actually is very different from all the Virtual World cards. It doesn't have that special summon ability, or it doesn't have the Foolish Burial ability either. But when a level 3 is special summoned to the field, it special summons itself back from the graveyard. Like I said, Qinglong can banish itself from the graveyard to search any of your virtual world monsters, you're going to go ahead and grab a GG to your hand. And you do have to discard a card. It doesn't really matter in this case as long as it's not one of these two. I actually sent the new card, which is Zhuangwu, or Xuanwu. It's actually a special summon from the graveyard. I don't know if I end up using it. I don't think I do. But you can use the GG to target it to send. This time you can actually send a trap card, and you're going to send a Chuchia. Chuchia lets you level manipulate in the graveyard. And like I said, since a level 3 was special summoned to the field, the Niang Niang activates, and it special summons itself from the graveyard. Now you have a lot more plays here. You can go ahead and summon a rank 9 Cloud Castle using the Lili and the Nian Nian. If you guys don't know, Cloud Castle special summons a rank 9 Synchro from the graveyard. You remember what that rank 9 Synchro that was that we used earlier? The XX Saber. The XX Saber effect activates again to let you discard another random card from your opponent's hand. They're now working with 3. Now that you've had 2 cards, you can go ahead and use effect of Lao Lao to target a trap to send a third type, which is you can send another Niang Niang if you really want, because it's not really something you want to draw. And his third or second effect, other than the Foolish Burial, is to revive a virtual world from the graveyard. And this time you can revive a Lulu. Its effects are negated, but that doesn't matter like at all. You can convert the Beast of the Pharaoh and the Lao Lao into another Cloud Castle. This card is in a once per turn somehow. And you can go ahead and revive back the X Saber. And since it was used for a Synchro Summon, again, it's going to revive itself back. And now you can bring back the X Saber effect to discard a random card from your opponent's hand. Now, since you have 2 rank 9s, you can go into, or you have 2 level 9s, you can go into a rank 9 play. And this is a Phantom Fortress. Has 3 different effects, but the important one for us, right, is that you can detach a material and banish a random card from your opponent's hand. Go ahead and go there. And that random card is going to get banished. It actually doesn't even get discarded. And you can convert all 3 of these, so that's the GG, the Lulu, and the Beast of the Pharaoh, into a Ravenous Croco Dragon Arcthis. Sure. That lets you draw a couple cards, if I'm not mistaken. Pharaoh effect, once again, to revive itself, and so it was used for a Synchro Summon to draw 2 cards. Now, I drew 2 hand traps, but, you know, you're not always going to draw that. They could just be play for your next turn, whatever the case may be. And you can use the effect of the new trap card to special summon a card from the graveyard. It's actually any of the virtual worlds, so I'm going to special summon a Lao Lao. And you can convert these 2, since this is a rank 9, you can convert the Lao Lao and the Beast of the Pharaoh to special summon a Shen Shen. Beast of the Pharaoh effect, because it was used as a Synchro Summon. And you can use those 2 rank 9s for a Phantom Fortress. Once again, this is not a once per turn, none of them are, to banish that last card from your opponent's hand. And there you go. So you just used your opponent's entire hand, and you can use the effect of Chuche, whatever they may top deck, which is, in my case, nothing, but if they top deck a monster, you just pop it. So you have even a plan for that card, along with whatever you draw, if they were hand traps or something. Like, the game is essentially over. This is susceptible to hand traps, of course, but this is just one variant. This is just one combo in reality for Virtual World. They have many more. There's like Crystal Wing Synchro Dragons. There's Dragoon of Red Eyes or Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. Many other things, but I just want to show you this one so you guys know it's going to be floating around for a while. There's other combos that I want to show you for other decks that are coming up, so a lot of, I think the next few days will probably be more step-by-step tutorials for new decks that are emerging now that VFD is banned, because you can actually play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Again quite normally. You don't have to center your entire deck around VFD, because even other decks used it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I hope you have an absolutely wonderful night.